Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to another weekly forecast and review. My name's Dion, and today I'm going to be going through a trade which I took and lost last week, a missed entry, and just pretty much what I think price can be doing next week. So let's get straight into the charts. Now I'm not going to spend too much time on the trades which I took last week because this trade right here, I actually did document the entire trade. So when I took the trade, how I was feeling, how it ended, this and that. That is in another video which I'll put on the screen somewhere. So if you want to watch the detailed version of that, go there. I'm going to quickly give you a brief rundown on why I took this trade and all that. So pretty much rejection to 0.8, lower lows, lower highs, saw this resistance being formed, which I thought was a double top. So I have a bearish bias overall. Now price, in my opinion, I thought that at the time of this trade, this push up, I felt like that was a fake out. So I thought price was just launching up to take out everyone's trades before making its way down and making a bearish leg. But unfortunately, I did get taken out a little bit too early because of my tight stop losses. So my tight stop loss, I only had one trade here. So I got taken out here, but also this area did come above the resistance. So even if I did give myself some more breathing room, I would have been taken out anyways. So pretty much my whole thing was this was just a fake out. Price was going to continue coming down. And what made me get into this trade was, first of all, this consolidation box was broken to the upside. But price came back down, so I guess a second fake out. It didn't exactly hold a good retest. It looks like it tried to retest the box here before moving up, but all that did was just make a lower high before shooting back down to break the support. Now, once price had broken the support, that was sort of my cue to be like, okay, we've made a lower movement. We've made our big bearish move. Now price is consolidating around this area. So as long as I keep my stops above resistance, because I feel like price will continue going down, I should be sweet. But no, all my stops got taken out. It invalidated the trade because price did break and close above the resistance. So there was another opportunity for a re-entry, which was while price was, consolidating around here, it did form this ascending trend line. And now this is on the smaller time frame, so that's why it's a little bit messy. But it formed an ascending trend line. I saw it break to the downside. So with my overall bearish bias, a break like this to the downside of an ascending trend line on a downtrend. For me, that's a continuation. That's telling me that price doesn't have enough strength to continue upwards, so it's going to melt down, especially after it fizzles out here a little bit. So this was a nice trade, which I could have taken, but I didn't for two reasons. I wasn't very focused on the charts at the time. I feel like if I was more focused and spent more time really, spending more time with AU, I would have, been able to use this information to plan out a really nice play, but I didn't because I was too focused with crypto at the time and I was focusing on different things, and it was at 6:30 something, 7 a.m, 7:30, so I was still asleep when this trade took place. But that's not saying that just because I didn't take it, it doesn't mean that I can't learn something from it. So when I miss trades, I don't beat myself up about it. What I do is go back to the trade, mark it up, and just analyze it how I usually would. There's so much to learn from even the opportunities which you didn't take. And in this case, it was this trade. So as you can see, it would have played out really well. Stops to my take profits to 0.77. My initial take profits would have been to the weekly level, but seeing how strong price was making it, it looks like here it would have taken me out. I would have been taken out for a 1 to 3, something like that, maybe 2.5% profit. But if I was to, look into a more swing trade, then I would have placed my stops at 0.77. That would always be my target. If we're making our way down towards 0.77, that's my target. If we're making our way up towards it, 0.77 is a target. That's just a really significant level for me. I feel like the price is just a magnet to that level. So 0.77 would have been my targets, and you can see how nicely it played out. So now let's go over to the larger time frames, which is the 2 hour. And you can see here that there were a few ways you could have gotten into this trade. So you can trade using the Fibonacci, like retracement levels, or you could have traded using the levels. Now, I personally don't base trades off of the Fibonacci tool. I use it more as a confluence, but I don't trade off of it, if that makes sense. Like, I don't see it hit 0.618, and then I'll enter my trade once it rejected the 0.618. I sort of look for price to have broken a level, and I look backwards. I go, okay, a level has been broken. Where did price come from? Did it already bounce off the 0.618? Did it reject it and then break a level? If that's the case, that would be a trade I'm interested in. And yeah, that's pretty much what I use fibs for. So this yellow arrow is where I drew my Fibonacci tool. So I clicked from here, dragged it down to the bottom being this area of support. Now, you can sort of see how price was ranging a lot, and the bottom sort of keeps changing. Now, for me, when I draw my Fibonacci's, I just draw it to the area generally. Or if price makes a new low, like if price was to close below the 0.782, then I would draw my fib down to that area below 0.782. I like to keep sort of up to date with what's currently happening right now in the moment. But overall with fibs, I'm not so like anal about them. I don't go, oh, it needs to be right at this at the bottom right here, at the tip of this candlestick. It's just, look, it's just a rough guide for me because I don't trade based, like I just use it as a confluence, so I don't need to be so accurate with it. That's sort of what I mean by this area here. So it could have been traded off a fib. You know, you can sort of see here, price formed a very solid bottom. We did have a strong pullback up just into the golden zone, the 0.5. This area is the golden zone according to here. And you can see this strong rejection and a break past what was acting as a support at the time of a resistance at the time of the close. So could have entered a trade there. But if you're trading based on the levels, you could have just seen these two very bearish candlesticks break through two supports. Could have opened a trade there. So you could have just placed your stop above this level and let the trade carry on, and that would have worked. Alright, so for the forecast, I'm going to do a top-down analysis just to give myself and you guys an overall big picture on what's happening at the moment. So on the monthly, we are actually above 0.77 and above the main weekly level, which has been rejected over the past couple of months. So this month is pretty bullish so far relative to the past couple. So what does this mean? Let's go into the smaller time frames and have a look. So I honestly feel like because price did close above this level here and 0.77, that it has settled above these levels and it's going to make another attempt to make its way up and make bullish movements. So if we have a look here, this is the dollar index right now. So the dollar index and AU move inversely to each other. So we see that AU has closed above, like on the weekly time frame, above the weekly level and 0.77. So we're seeing bullish movements. We're seeing AU go up. Now, if we look at the dollar index, it has been making lower lows and lower highs since the last significant level, and we've broken it below another significant level, and it looks like it's coming down to the 0.88 or the 0.89 or this area around here. So there is still room for further downside for the dollar index, which means there is a possibility for further upside for AU. But because of the close of this weekly candle, it looks like it has held its ground pretty well so far. So I would not be surprised if we see price make its way to try and attempt to touch or break 0.8 again. Yeah, pretty much depending on the candlestick formations around this area of resistance, that's going to determine what kind of trades I take. I might be taking shorts from this area, or could be taking shorts from this area, but generally this doesn't look too appetizing for me. I don't feel like there's any super juicy setups which I'm currently looking for. But that being said, this is on the weekly time frame. It would look a little bit different on the smaller time frames, but nothing that I'm too interested in right now because my whole bias is it is bearish. So pretty much to sum it up, I do see price is consolidating here. I don't really like trading within these areas. I do want some more confirmation, But from what I can see, I do have a short-term bullish bias just because of the close above the weekly level and this candlestick, especially next to this very bullish candlestick. So I do feel like price could make its way to 0.8, but at the time of recording, I don't have any clear trade setups yet. So I will wait and see what price does, and then I'll update you guys and upload another video when I do have some trade ideas in mind. Anyways, that's it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it brought you guys some sort of value. If you got any comments or questions, leave them in the comment section and I'll get back to you guys. But that's it. I'll catch you guys in the next one.